Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Let's talk about simple makeup. Simple makeup, what does that even mean? I think that that's actually a relative term just based on from person to person. But if we just took the word simple and we broke that down, I think we can all agree that when something's simple or when something's simplified, it kind of narrows it down. It brings it down to where you can understand it in a more layman's terms way. It takes all these moving parts and brings it down and kind of condenses it. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to do my face today. I've already done my eyebrows and eyes. While I'm doing that, I'm going to explain the simple makeup process, the simple makeup routine that Saint provides just in one tiny little compact. All right, so this is actually what I started out with going on 4 years in March. Yeah, it'll be 4 years in March. I started out with this tiny little compact, and what I was looking for at the time is I was looking for simple because I had just had my third baby. I didn't have any family around. I was trying to learn how to juggle 3 kids on my own while my husband was at work, and I knew I needed to take better care of myself, especially like my appearance, because we can't get away from it. How we look also helps to determine how we feel about ourselves. So I knew I wasn't combing my hair, I wasn't getting dressed, I wasn't doing my makeup. So I knew I needed to find a self-care routine, and it just so happened that I ran across this makeup and it answered all my questions. It brought everything into one. It was simple, it was beautiful, it was fast, and it would help me accomplish that goal of feeling better about myself. So here's what I've got inside. This is cream makeup. If you guys have already been on my channel, you already know about this. Let's see if I can get this in here. This is going to be my foundation color. This is contour, this is bronzer, and this is a lip and cheek color. The creator of this line, she wanted to simplify makeup. She wanted to take all these moving parts, this bottle, this tube, all of these elements, and to kind of just streamline it down into one compact so that we're not looking, searching, wondering, spending too much time. She wanted to streamline the makeup process. If that's something you're interested in, then keep watching. I'll show you how I put my full face of makeup on with just this little compact and a brush. So let's get into it. Now depending on what you like to do in your face, again, makeup is all about preference. If you really want to learn how to do makeup, learn your face and play with it and figure out what you like and what you don't. Some of you may prefer to contour every day. Some people don't like contouring at all. Some people like to put bronzer on every day and a little bit of foundation. I mean, you get to figure out what's important to you, what you want to cover, what you want to highlight. I'm actually going to start out with my contour. I feel like when I do my contour and I do a little bit of color first, I don't need as much foundation. It's kind of a reverse makeup method, the Saint way. At least that's just what I tell myself. Whoops, I dipped into the wrong one. Oh, I'm using the light coverage brush. This is a blend brush by Saint. There's also a full coverage brush that I would recommend. It's called the Buff brush. And I rarely use that because I'm a pretty light coverage kind of girl, but I have used it for when I want to, just have a little bit of a heavier makeup, especially for like, say, a photo shoot, or I want to look extremely flawless, then I would use that brush. But on a day-to-day and most occasions, I'm still wanting a pretty light finish. So right now I'm just applying my contour, which is this second one. Again, if you want to start with your foundation, you can do that. Some people like to start with their bronzer. But for me, I prefer to put a little bit of color on my face first because it actually helps to take away from the discoloration that I have going on. So I'm just applying the contour with the dent side of my brush. And I'm kind of going to go in this 3 motion in case you are new to contouring or you want just a simple way of looking at it. And I'm just applying it in this 3 kind of motion, and then this would be the E motion, or it might be backwards. It might be E and 3 to you. I typically don't contour my nose. That is just my personal preference, but if I want to look super on top of my game, then I'm gonna go ahead and contour my nose. All right, I'm gonna blend my contour up on my cheekbone. Did you know that our brains are actually naturally hardwired to find the better, the faster, the easier way? I had to help my 3-year-old go potty. Okay, so I don't remember where I was at, but I was on some kind of rant. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about how our brains are naturally hardwired. So yeah, it actually didn't surprise me when I read that, but it was kind of like, aha, yeah, that's exactly right. I always am trying to find like a better, faster, easier way, like in fitness or with my hair, or I want it to look as good as it can, but I want to put as little effort as possible into doing that. And, you know, if I can find a way that it does that, then I am happy. And that's actually what this makeup did for me. Was it was so beautiful when I saw the woman that I saw doing it. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Like, I've just never seen anybody's like makeup look like that in such little effort and such little amount. And right now I'm putting some bronzer on. So I'm just adding a little bit of color to my face. I know some people are like non-bronzers. Some people are like anti-bronzer people in the winter, or the fall or whatever. But I like to just have that color, and that's what I like. So again, personal preference. I didn't always know that, especially when I first started this makeup. I didn't know that I liked having bronzer most of the year. I wouldn't have known. Okay, I'm going to save my blush for the last, but I've added some color, so I feel like what that does is that takes away a little bit of the need to add so much foundation. Oh, I forgot to show you. So I told you it was the bronzer. It's this chocolatey brown color. There are other bronzers in the Saint line, but this is the one that I have and the one I've used for a very long time. Now I'm going to go into my foundation. I'm just going to even out some of this discoloration. I've got melasma, I've got freckling, I've got a blemish here, I've got some scarring and some veins here. So I'm just going to kind of go clean up this center area of my face, and that's something that you can kind of focus on with the foundation color. It's just kind of the center of the face, and a lot of people don't have to focus on their jawline as much as I do, but because I have so much melasma and discoloration that I like to focus on that. So I'm going to go in with the fluffy side of my brush, and I'm just going to dab into this foundation color. Now this foundation color that I'm using, they call it in the Saint world, they call it highlight. So when you go to look for like foundation colors, it's not categorized under foundation. It's called a highlight. That's what they do in the Saint world, because they feel like putting all of these together in the Saint world is considered your foundation, because you're only putting it in certain places. I will not be putting foundation where I put my bronzer and my contour. That's my preference again, but you definitely can. The makeup is buildable, so again, that keeps it super easy, super beautiful, and super fast. And I think that's what attracted me to this makeup, is because it hit all those things, and I didn't know specifically that was what I was looking for at the time, but it hit everything that I was looking for, and I felt like, okay, I can do this makeup. I don't need to spend an hour. I don't have an hour, especially. At least I didn't want to take an hour, because I had so many other things going on, so many other priorities, that I couldn't justify spending an hour on my makeup, or, you know, trying to do this, trying to do that. And this took all of the guessing out of the entire process. I'm going to use a little bit of that same foundation and kind of come underneath my eyes. I get a little bit of eye bag situation, as well as I have veins and some melasma pooling underneath there as well. I am a freckly son of a gun, just gonna say that. I feel like I've got freckles everywhere, but my face is the most freckly. And maybe it's because I didn't have parents that did sunblock as a kid. I don't know, but I am freckly. You can't see it very well in this light, and I want to be careful underneath my eye, because I have a lot of not a lot of extra skin, but I'm getting more as I get older. So I don't want to be caking it on and have it look all crinkly and wrinkly and have it kind of pool under there. So I'm going to take just this, I'm taking the tiny lightest layer, and I'm just kind of brushing it up to just clean up that under eye. Here, because I get a little darkness right there, and you can just see it really brightening up. Guys, look how easy this is. I I've never seen makeup that's as easy. I mean, of course it's, if you really want the least path of resistance, then don't wear makeup at all. But again, that brings us back to square one, where we want to feel good. And again, we can't get away from it. How we feel is attached to somewhat to how we look. And as human beings, it's actually how we treat others. We do it naturally. We have a judgment, or we have something that attracts us to someone. We don't quite know why, but it can have a lot to do with how they look or take care of themselves or carry themselves. And if somebody's feeling pretty lousy about themselves, generally their demeanor is going to show that. So, oh, I'm putting my blush on. This is called, I thought it was called Pinky Promise, but this is actually called Candy. And this one has a little bit of a sheen to it. So I don't like to put a ton, but it kind of acts like a highlighter as well as a blush. So that's why I chose it, because again, simple, fast, and right to the point. All right, I want to make sure I like this. I'm going to put a little bit of foundation right there. It's actually just the way my skin kind of sits. I don't have any makeup or anything that is making it have those little lines. It's just the way my cheeks kind of sit. It's kind of where they wrinkle, as well as like my my cheekbone. So it just naturally kind of sinks in right there. I just have that. I'm still working with that. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna do, oh, I'm gonna clean up around my lip here a little bit. I have like no lip line, guys. So I'm gonna take a little bit of contour. This is more of like a contour 2.0, but I mean, you don't have to do this process. I just like to do it to kind of separate my lips from my chin. And the last thing I'm gonna do is add a little candy, add a little of that candy to my lips. So I get a little bit of color and a little bit of lip gloss. Can you understand me? Do you speak lipstick talk? Okay, so that's the finished product. Simple makeup, to the point, makes a huge difference. I mean, you can just see. And if I get close, it's hard to detect the makeup because I put just such a light layer on. But now I would just go set it and I'd be done for the day. So that process, actually doing my entire face and even my eyes, takes as long as it takes me to do my eyebrows. I haven't figured out a very simple process for my eyebrows yet. I'm working on that. I like them, but I want to find an easier process. So, you know, again, the human brain, we're looking for easier, better, faster. And my eyebrows take as long as my entire face, and my eyes take pretty much almost every single day. So simple makeup, guys. That is the simplest makeup that I've ever found, that I've ever seen. I mean, the payoff is beautiful. The payoff is right there. The quality is there. The makeup quality is there. The ingredients, check the ingredients out if you want to go at, if you're into ingredients. The ingredients are high quality ingredients, and the opacity of this makeup is much higher. So again, you get a better payoff with less. She just thought of everything when she was creating this makeup, I feel like, and as much as you can, where it fits into that simple, better, faster way of living and how our brains work. So guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like it. And if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. I do videos every Tuesday, and it's just so much fun, just like learning and growing and teaching as much as I can about this stuff, because it's gold. So thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.